I'm Sync.
And I'm Echo.
And we are back once again playing Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. In the last episode, we started our first day in court. We only have today to prove our client not guilty, because otherwise Maya's fate is uncertain. Edgeworth is going to show us how much prosecution he has learned how to prosecute in his time not prosecuting. And so, we're about to witness his master plan bringing out the Oldbag.
Oh boy. Are you prepared?
Is your body ready for the Oldbag?
Is your mind ready?
Is your mouth fast enough to read Miss Oldbag's text?
No, it's not. Let's just do this.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Go.
G-O-T-C-H-A. Okay, this is just because no one spelled those out loud, okay?
Yeah.
Unless you're actually spelling these out loud.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I wonder what happened to that composer he had earlier. It disappeared with Oldbag.
Yes.
Appearance.
Oh,
edgy boy! It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the reports with her testimony, but who knew that under the helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the Wicked Witness stand.
Did you not see the name? I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all that the court needs to know. Oh!
Hi, dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, ma'am. No, please. By all means, interrupt her. Please!
All seriousness, broken.
No. Please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say. You've a hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel at the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Quan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that Ungar saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
But you're interested in Edge. Really quick, go over the court record and let's look at the profiles. Alright, so 21, and okay, now go over to Mountain Guard, 21, so about the same age. Now let's go over to Edgeworth.
25.
Only 4 years older. Okay. Whatever floats your old bag.
Whatever. I'm only interested in a real man. Juan Corda. And I still have problem saying that name because I'm stupid.
And yet those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
I imagine it's like, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the courts what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. What you witness? Okay, witness, let's do this. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something to keep a good eye out on the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Matt Ungard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
Was the thing she was interested in that gossip?
Most probably.
So Mr. Unguard came out of the victim's room.
No, okay, real quick. Was it his face? Or was it the costume?
The costume, yes. Getting flashbacks to the Steel Samurai case.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I bet Ezra is badger the witness, right?
Yes, please.
What you witness? All right. I realized the voice for Oldbag is like straining my throat.
Try that one. The second one.
I fast forward when I didn't mean to fast forward.
Yeah.
I moved forward. Something you were interested in. And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there something that she was interested in? What is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip.
This has to do something with. If this has to do something with the case, then you can amend it to your testimony. Append it, yes.
It looks like we should force it now, right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Since I was on the job, good. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Juan's door, room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was. Okay, I'm so done.
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh,
for what I wouldn't give to have Francisco's whip right about now. The one time we want that whip.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't get to see Francisco deal with Oldbag.
No.
No! Shoot! Well, I could tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was met Unguard, who was trying to sneak his way out. Oh, she may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. It's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic.
Yeah.
She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her.
Yeah. So,
I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, the last one, right?
This one.
Yeah.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yes, see. Really? Annoying brat. When I said I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a mess like last year, I should dive into this a bit further. The person's face.
Yeah.
Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes, his effeminate lips, his right eye covered by his silky, his sparkling, shiny teeth. His teeth were shining. Well, he's shining all over this in this week's pinup poster, dearie. This week's pinup. Why do you? I don't care how you looked in this week's issues. Please stay with what you saw that night. What? Unguard's face is the same no matter where it is, right? You whippersnapper.
Okay, what about his clothes, then? Okay.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Reading.
Was the testimony relevant in any way? Not really.
Nah, not this one. I guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Especially.
And my intelligence seemed to revert it to that of a toddler. She may not remember things, blah blah blah. Sweet old lady, that's because you don't have to.
Try clothes? Like, was he wearing the costume?
Press.
Because, like, if it's not his face, because we didn't get to, like, if he was masked, so...
Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are. Really, if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Pantaloons.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
What about his pants, man? What was his pants?
But, you remember... Look at the court record. Wasn't he in costume the entire time?
Was ripped from his costume is covered in...
Yeah, he was in he was in his costume when he was detained.
Yeah.
So if he was wearing his jacket...
Wait. Okay, ripped from his costume, found in Unguard's Hakama.
I'm pretty sure he was arrested in his outfit.
But
not in his jacket.
But we don't have evidence that says that. Oh, whoops, that's what I meant.
Well, no, we do. You just look at the Gem Ninja button. It was found in his Hakama.
Okay. So it is important.
Yeah.
Because... But she described the top part, not the bottom part. That's why I dismissed it.
But like, why would you put on the leather racing jacket and keep your steel samurai, your iron samurai, or nickel samurai? There are too many samurais in this series, guys. Just wait until you learn about all the samurai.
Because he's friggin' weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Objection! Then perhaps you would like to point out that what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth?
No.
Your Honor, I request that what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony.
I don't see quite where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to be too mad about anyone without reason, but if I must. What? You bad about everyone without
I know,
reason.
right? Whippersnapper.
Found in his Hakama. That's the pants, right?
I'll find out.
I'm pretty sure that's his pants.
Yes, they are pants.
Okay. Why would he be wearing his flashy racing jacket if he was wearing his costume?
Yeah.
Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Also, it's cloth, so I'm imagining hiding a piece of metal in cloth. Maybe his pockets.
Do you know what this is? It's button number 2 on a jamming ninja costume. 2.
Yeah, it's 1, 2.
Okay. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified with a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. And Juan's blood too.
Yeah.
This button was discovered on Mr. Ungar's body during a full body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Ungar. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. See? And Ungar is the nickel samurai. Witness! Now, it may be just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, did you say that the defendant, Byte on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. You do too. If I were changing his dress, then no one maybe to put up with this ridiculous looking outfit. You agree that outfit's in this, right? If I were tape recorder stuck in my chest, I would tell you it's heavy. So heavy I wish we could have switched to the deals. I work hard to smile on my face, so you say understand now. Take a look at mirror, your clothes are just about as interesting as Dr. Major Curry. You should take a 10 or temperature for Deadpool. He got whatever.
You do an incredible job keeping up with that. Holy crap. Now, you hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So, what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, but the man. But the man on guard, the Nickel Samurai.
That's not what we said. But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
No, they're not. We've been over this.
You made this point last case. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth thinking about.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
No. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Ha, alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Oh, well. On guard. Yes, now I remember. Yes, now you remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Quan. I knew it. I knew you say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
What?
But the possibility does exist. Ah, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. Oh my gosh.
Okay, just say so. Go ahead, it's fine.
At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Can we just throw the witness out? Invalidate her?
Oh, what about... Yeah, Nickel Samurai.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not. Not too long ago. Let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What do you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be a Judge Whacker, hero of the public's court. So what? See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Whacker. Now are you? Well, what I said earlier? Who puts any weight into things like that? And now it's everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. What? Do you even know how going to jail works? All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
If you're playing the mobile version of this game, you just got the Judge Whacker achievement.
It was convenient for him to wear his. He had to go to that post, so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume to stab poor. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a stabbing. I want to hear about that.
You're thinking too hard on this, huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony. It's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that testimony contradiction means for us. Well, we'll have to figure out what you're talking about first. But okay, I figured it out already. Strangle with a cloth, scarf.
And when he was
and
stabbing.
stabbed with a knife. I swear if I had to freaking press that before.
Or you could.
Okay, let me just be safe.
I mean, you could also present the knife, but
there has been points where I just presented before I
Sure.
press, and then it failed.
makes sense. Makes sense.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it was really the Nickel Samurai? As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I draw in the tower yet? You don't need to think too hard about that one? Okay.
Honestly, I would actually say the autopsy report.
That's what I think too. Because she doesn't say anything about the strangling part, just the knife.
And
Nope.
yeah, that's one of the things. Like, I actually would have gone with the testimony, with the autopsy report first, but no, it's the knife.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
This
Because the
fool-
autopsy shows that it wasn't stabbing; it was strangulation.
I am on the right track. What? This is just bull. Maybe it's just a fingerprint. Because the nickel costume.
Oh, because he doesn't,
have
have yeah,
gloves.
it's gloves. That's
But it was
why.
taken from the dinner, which... What? Because the thing is, it was taken from the dinner plate. So that's why he had his fingerprint on it. So
Yeah.
it was like before the costume.
Yeah,
So that's why it makes less sense.
yeah.
Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll just have you know it won't work. Oh no, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
Don't you ever you don't even need to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
It's because the friggin' fingerprints and the costume has gloves. That's what they want to point
Yep.
out. But the thing is, he used the knife after eating dinner. Because the remains of the food is still there. So it's not like the Steel Samurai case where they threw it in an incinerator.
You're on the track where I started becoming like playing the game so much because I played almost all these games back to back that I became like I knew how the game worked. So I was both the defendant and the prosecutor, which sometimes screwed me up. But yes,
But see, because it was from dinner.
yeah,
Therefore, his fingerprints are on it already. So even if he did have gloves, his fingerprints are still there.
hmm
That's why it just makes less sense than like the autopsy.
yeah. Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? In whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife.
Here we go. And I'm about to read what you just said.
Actually, he could have wiped all previous fingerprints on this right off. I'm still like under the assumption that like fingerprints just last there for a while. Even when you wipe it off, it's still traces. So I'm like, they still would have found fingerprints. Except no, they would just would have been wiped
Yeah.
off. But whatever.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? And here we go. He probably took off his gloves before he began the stabbing.
And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he could have done something like that. He would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility.
He was strangling. Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. Here we go. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk to the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still didn't take place. It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them. Yes, I've heard about that. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have anything to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edward's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intentions of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Yes! Yes! Oh wait, I don't have a picture of it.
Well, yeah, there is a contradiction. Yeah.
I don't have a picture of it. Okay. Cause the knife is from.
And the knife is
The knife is from Matt's room.
Yeah.
Think about it one more time. There is a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent.
And the knife. Yeah.
It doesn't say from his room, but yes.
Yeah, but we established that it came from his room.
This knife, this was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corda.
I suppose.
However, you just said that in yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from proposition 1. Supposition? What? And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. That's the thing? I don't know. I guess it depends on what the knife is, the glove is made out of.
Yeah.
Which means the defendant's fingerprints wouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Oh, order! Order, I say! Order in this court! Was the knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Mr. Ungard! To hide the murder method.
Well, because we found it, so.
It's actually to hide the murder method? Never mind that we already figured out that he was strangled by this scarf.
Right.
It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course.
To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. If that was true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness!
Looks like I made your life a little bit more difficult, huh, Edgy?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because... Well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were just waiting for Juan Corda. Am I correct, witness?
Ha ha ha. The way you think you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I? An amateur of?
Logic. Common sense. None of that. So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corda. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you are waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Adrian Andrews, weren't you? Okay, I'm thinking Adrian Andrews or Lara, but Lara was
never was in.
Was never in. So she wanted to learn about the gossip. So it's
Yeah.
Adrian Andrews.
Yeah. Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard manager.
But why would the defense's manager be in the victim's room?
Did we just not establish that she found a body? Judge?
Ha! Yeah. It seems that in this latest rumor in circulation, it seems this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is. Ah, I see.
He doesn't. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt. The witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
But witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. Do you have the camera?
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I can't simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the win out of you youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Okay, guys, in the next episode, we are going to be hearing about this secret information. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.